Hi everyone. I just wanted to show you that we have made some changes to Virtual Clinician. As you see, the color scheme is different and the buttons and icons look slightly different. The changes we made will not cause a lot of stress for you because from your end a lot of it is very much the same. The majority of changes were made on the instructor's end to make scoring easier for us to do. But I wanted to just go through and show you some things that might look a little bit different and just give you a big refresher on the program. So as you know, this is basically still the same. It just looks a little bit different. Still functions the same way. You still click on a question, get your answer. You'll notice notes is still here, so you can still take notes. These icons are just smaller and I guess a prettier color. Many of you still say that you can't get to the rest of the history questions. So this click here is how you get there, and you don't see it in this version because they're still working on it, but that is being changed to bright red text so that it just sort of stands out. The click here is going to be in bright red, so hopefully that'll make it easier for you to find these additional categories. Again, this is the same thing, it just looks different. You're still writing a brief statement of what you think is going on since after just doing those first set of history questions. Right, and you're going to enter your problem here, same as you did always. Add your problem. Now just remember that once you click this, if you click this first, everything you type in here for your hypothesis will be associated to this problem now. Okay, so if I write in there that MI, it's going to associate to that. So let me enter another problem just to show you how you can save some time here. If you're entering hypotheses, if you run through your problem list first, if you enter your problem list first before you enter your hypothesis, now if I check every problem, and I enter a hypothesis now, it's going to be associated with as many problems as I've already checked here. So if I say decreased range of motion now is due to an infection, and both my pain and decreased range of motion problems are checked, that hypothesis is now going to be added to both of them. So in a time-saving, less clicking around issue for you guys, if you enter problems first, then you can associate hypotheses with multiple problems. Now, it's not going to let you click off without entering a hypothesis for a problem, but as you build your problem list and you come up with another hypothesis that applies to multiple problems, you can save clicks by doing it that way. Your done button is still over here. It's a pretty turquoise now. And then you have the rest of your history categories here. This all works exactly the same way. Notice now that my additional hypotheses are up here. Remember, please, that if you can, on a Mac, it's Shift. I'm not sure what it is on a PC. It's probably either Control or probably Control. And you highlight multiple hypotheses up here. That's how I can relate a single history question or exam item to multiple hypotheses. So this is a little bit, comes into play a little bit more when you do the exam. Again, this just looks different. It functions the same way. Your buttons just are a little larger here for you to see. What we've lost so far that I'm trying to have them fix is that it doesn't roll, when you roll over, it doesn't give you what the icon is down here. You actually have to click on it now to see what the tool is. But by now you should know what these are. So again, if I want to do range of motion of the right shoulder, even though it's a knee case, I know, I'm just showing you. If I come up here to my hypotheses and I want to use range of motion to rule out or to assess both of these hypotheses, I just have to hold down, again on a Mac, it's Shift, and both of those hypotheses will be related now to this test. Okay? Obviously I should do that before let me do that again. I screwed that up for you, sorry. If I want to do range of motion of the elbow, I should highlight these first before I click on range of motion and elbow. Okay, now both of these hypotheses would be related to that test and measure. So choose your tool choose your hypotheses, and then choose your body part. And that will later associate them all together. So again, just a way to save you a few clicks. Everything else here is basically the same. You still have, these will still, work the same, give you the same answers. You notice the nice thing now is there's no ask button here. You don't have to ask for these things. Okay, mental status works the same. Tests and measures work the same. Okay, some of these are just highlighted differently as major category. These are the larger ones, are the more often used categories, but they're all still here. They still work the same way. It just looks differently. Notice now that there's a close button for these submenus. Okay, so when you used to be able to just click on a test and it would go away after that, but now there's an actual close button. So to close this submenu after you've asked your test, you have to click the close button to make it go away. Minor change. Diagnostic test works the same. You're still going to review your problems and the hypothesis before you ask your diagnostic tests. There they are. They all work the same. Mostly on your end, it's just an appearance difference. They found that this worked better in their other programs. Prettier. The tan was kind of ugly, gotta admit. Management works the same. You're still going to prioritize your problem list. You're still going to enter your diagnosis, select your confidence level, and move on. Okay? Review your problem list. This is yours and mine, or whoever the instructor is. You still have your same 3 options here to treat or not. Who you're going to collaborate with. You could choose. This case was a refer prior to treat, so that's why we're not getting the intervention options. Okay, but the rest of this works the same. You're still going to review your results. Remember that you can click on each of these and get feedback on how you did. Look at your investigations. Anything with a star is good. Anything without a star is something we wanted you to do that you did not do. And your prognosis is the same. Interventions works the same. So the majority of the program is the same for you guys. Like I said, the difference is going to come on our scoring end. In the scoring end now, you're not going to be scored on the linking, so relating hypothesis to tests and items, problems to interventions. We've removed that part of the scoring. We, the instructors, have the option to score it if we want to. If we want to particularly give you feedback and score that part of it, we can. But the program is not going to automatically score it for you. And what you're going to see is when you finish initially, your scores will be higher than they used to be because that was where you were all losing a lot of points. So when you see your feedback immediately and your scores, before we actually go in and physically score anything, your scores will look much better. So it's not as disheartening for you guys. All right, as always, if you have questions about the technology of the program, you contact me. If you have questions about content of the course, you contact the course instructor. Login for this is the same. And that's it. Not much of this has really changed for you guys. But again, in the Patho II course, your grade for the course is based on your performance on these cases. It works out fine. Don't panic because you hate the program or because you think the scoring is unfair. It doesn't. It works out fine. Believe me, you do fine. What's going to happen is, again, you will have a lecture. You'll have a case related to that lecture. I will be grading your orthopedic cases. Dr. Fluid will be grading your neuro cases. So I will, and then we will come in the following week. So if you do a case on this Thursday, next Thursday, one of us will come in and we'll go through the case with you. We'll debrief, we'll look at your records, we'll see what the class did as a whole. We'll give you individualized feedback this time. So you will get a handout from us with your score and with feedback from us. Plus we will go over it as a group in class and talk about issues that occurred. And hopefully tie up some misconceptions and clear up some issues that may not have been clear either from the lecture or from previous knowledge. Please keep in mind when you're doing these cases, these are not just Patho II cases. You have to pull together your anatomy, your kinese, your E&I, your E&M, everything. You have to pull in your previous coursework, Patho I. You have to pull it all together in these cases. We are not just testing your knowledge from Patho II. We're looking for you to look at these cases as if it is a real patient and pull all your knowledge together. Do not guess what we want you to do. Just do what you would do if you were in the clinic with this patient. This is why we do this virtually. You can do no harm. You're not going to hurt anybody. There's no dire consequences. Treat this patient and do exactly what you would do if you were in the clinic. And then we will, give you feedback based on that. No judgments here. We're not looking to say, oh my God, they don't know what they're doing. They can't go on in the course. None of that. This is wide virtual. No harm done. Do what you think you would do in the clinic. Try and act like it's a real situation. I know it's not exactly real and the questioning is not exactly the same, but try and come at it from the point of view that this is a real patient. And again, don't guess what we think you should do. Okay? Still, there are items in the program that you don't know yet. There are tests that you don't know, measures that you don't know, information that you don't know. We're not expecting you to know anything we haven't taught you yet. We are expecting you to pull information together, though, and apply it possibly in a different manner than you were taught it, because that's life and that's how you have to do things. So, if a case requires joint mobs that you haven't had yet, we will not expect you to do those joint mobs. So it is based on what you have now. I will tell you, though, that as you're taking Therex, we know you're taking Therex now. We know what you have in Therex each week. So we will be looking to see that you pull that Therex knowledge in. Don't, default to your basics of, bridges and straight leg raises. As you cover topics in Therex, we expect to start seeing you choose those intervention options in these programs as well. We do know what you're doing each week in Therex, and we're looking for you to pull that stuff into as well. I think that's it. If you have any questions about Virtual Clinician, email me, and I will, when will I see you guys? Possibly next Thursday if you do your first case. Okay? Thanks a lot.